Well, the cat's out of the bag, people. We've got Insomniac games and PlayStation leaks dating all the way to 2035. So that is what I, Waifu Belector, the only fair human on Earth, am here to discuss. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Starting with the quick version of how this even happened. Basically, Insomniac Games was compromised by a ransomware group who managed to get a hold of a lot of their data. This hacker group or whatever then demanded $2 million or else they'd release all of the data to the public. Clearly, Insomniac did not pay that ransom, and the villains of this story followed through with their threat, revealing a whole lot of details about the future of Insomniac as well as PlayStation. So let's go down the list of Insomniac's leaked future games. We've got Venom in 2025, Wolverine in 2026, Spider-Man 3 in 2028, a new Ratchet & Clank in 2029, and an X-Men game in 2030. Jesus Christ, that's far off. But yeah, let's go over these. So Venom in 2025, and it's titled Venom Lethal Protector. This will be what Miles Morales was to the 2018 Spider-Man game, a decently sized standalone DLC expansion type deal. An expand-alone, if you will. And we do have information that says as much, as well as telling us that the events of the Venom game will follow up on Spider-Man 2 and lead right into 2028's Spider-Man 3. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they bring Venom back and how that story's gonna go. It seems a little weird for him to return with the way the Spider-Man 2 ended, but other details we have tell us that you'll be able to switch between Venom and other spider heroes. So I don't know if that means Miles and Peter or possibly Silk, who was teased at the end of Spider-Man 2. We'll have to wait and see. And we also know that Carnage will be involved in infecting the city, following up on that side quest from the main game. So yeah, there it is. Venom Lethal Protector 2025. After that, we've got Wolverine in 2026. So this one is a little later than we all expected, I feel. I think we all thought this was coming in 2025, but it turns out Venom is, and Wolverine the following year. Either way, this is the game we learned the most about. There is even leaked gameplay, cutscenes, and all kinds of footage to go alongside it. I won't show that stuff here because the video will get taken down, but I will talk about the details. So in the footage, we get to see the general feel of combat as you might expect, and the game does have a lot of God of War energy to it in terms of the combat's look. A combat style that makes a lot of sense for Wolverine, but there are more added Insomniac touches and things that fit better and make sense for Wolverine as opposed to Kratos. Because of course, although there is a bit of God of War DNA here, this is not God of War. So like the Spider-Man games, yes, you can jump during combat, and there is just generally more movement altogether than in God of War games. The recent ones anyway. So surprise, surprise, the Insomniac game plays more like an Insomniac game. Staying on movement though, Wolverine can also slide and parkour around the environment, as well as perform a wall climb and a wall run. There also seems to be some stealth and detective type stuff happening here, as the leaked footage also shows Wolverine using his enhanced sense of smell and hearing to track people. In the clips, Wolverine begins sniffing at the air and a blue trail appears for him to follow, indicating the scent of whoever he's tracking. The enhanced senses also trigger nearby clues like dried blood and whatnot, also highlighted in that baby blue tint. The trails also lead to a blue shadow of the person in their last known state, as Wolverine is able to piece together what's happening, you know? It's all a pretty standard affair for Insomniac, and right in line with the Insomniac Marvel universe that this is made to be a part of. However, another exciting bit about Wolverine is a playable Jean Grey. These seem to be the MJ missions of Wolverine, but will almost certainly be more exciting. In-game, Jean Grey will have ranged and melee attacks, as well as be able to fly, hover, and create shields. There's probably a bit more to know, although I'm just trying to summarize this shit. So go look into the leaks and maybe you'll find what I may have missed, but that's all I've got on Wolverine in 2026. Next up is Spider-Man 3 in 2028 and Ratchet & Clank in 2029. So we don't know much about these because because they're so far off that they're pretty much just still being conceptualized. I don't believe that anything beyond Wolverine is in full active development just yet. However, one possible bit of information that comes from a Spider-Man 3 roadmap as part of this leak is that Spider-Man 3 may release as 2 separate parts, with part 1 releasing in 2027 and part 2 releasing in 2028. It's a strange idea, but I won't knock it until I see it. Really, something like that depends on the pricing and the size of the parts. Also, this could just be an idea being floated around internally, but may never come to fruition. By the end of things, we may just end up with the one-part whole game in 2028, which would be followed by Ratchet & Clank in 2029, which I am happy to hear. 2029 is far as fuck, so I can't say I'm exactly excited, but I'm happy that Ratchet & Clank won't be gone forever. I know they don't bring in the Marvel bucks, but I thought Rift Apart was great. I know everyone's like, oh my god, Venom, Wolverine, Spider-Man, X-Men, and I'm just the one guy in the corner quietly squealing like, oh, Ratchet & Clank. But yeah, I like Ratchet & Clank. Yeah, so anyway, last on the slate is the X-Men game scheduled for 2030. Holy fuck, that's far. Every time I say it, I get a little queasy. Whatever though. Again, we don't know much of anything about this X-Men game, but I think everyone's biggest question would be in regard to whether it will be multiplayer or single player. A single player game where you are swapping between members of the X-Men would be cool, but Insomniac trying their hand at a big co-op multiplayer game might also be cool, especially considering we may all be sick of the Insomniac superhero formula by 2030, but who really knows? Anyway, aside from that, this leak also revealed that Sony has signed a deal with Marvel to exclusively release X-Men games on PlayStation through 2035. So after the X-Men game, get ready for that Gambit spinoff, everyone. And I guess that Xbox will just have to make do with that Arcane Studios Blade game. Here's hoping for that one. Okay though, that's pretty much everything. This leak is huge. Unfortunately, it's tied to criminal activity, and it's very lame of this ransomware group to even do. But what am I gonna do? Not talk about this? And also, all this stuff is decently far off. A lot of what's here is subject to change, so if you go and check out all the leaked Wolverine videos and whatnot, remember that this isn't the final game. There's a lot of time between now and 2026. But okay, that's all from me for now. Let me know what your thoughts may be on all these leaks. Are you already excited for these distant games? I mean, this no doubt sucks for Insomniac, so do you feel bad for them? Do you just wish none of these leaks ever happened because of how far off these games are, or maybe for another reason? Let me know down in the comments, and please consider liking and subscribing. It means a lot. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I am Waifu Belector. I am just a normal guy. I like hentai, and I'll be dead before that X-Men game releases. Goodbye.